Welcome to the second year chemistry core labs. My name is Liz New and I'm the second year lab director. If you have any questions about the labs, you can email me or come and see me in my office. The second year labs are found on level 5 of the chemistry building. This introductory video will tell you a bit about how these labs run. You must watch this video and answer the short quiz below the video before you can access other important parts of this Blackboard site.
As part of this lab course, you must attend 8 lab sessions in weeks 1 to 8. Labs run from 1 until 5 p.m, so you need to make sure to turn up ready to start at 1 p.m. You'll be rotating through 5 different experiments in this lab course. 2 of the experiments will run for 1 week, and 3 of the experiments will run for 2 weeks. All students will complete the same experiment in week 1, that is experiment 1. You'll then be divided into groups and rotate through the experiments according to your group. Your timetable will tell you which lab group you are in, and you cannot change this group. The lab classes are at capacity, so we cannot allow students to swap between days. It's therefore essential that you attend the day for which you have been timetabled. If you absolutely must change lab days for 1 week, you must contact me at least a week in advance to organise the swap. If you just turn up at the lab, you won't be allowed in.
Make sure you familiarise yourself with the lab program folder on Blackboard, as it contains all the essential information you will need for the course, including pre-work quizzes, the folder for report submission, and other important information like appendices on lab techniques. This year, you're expected to use ChemSketch or a similar structure drawings program, and Excel or a similar graphing program. Information about these can be found in the training folder. The first thing to do as soon as you can is to pick up a lab manual from the Level 5 service room. This lab manual contains all the important information you need to know about labs, so make sure you read through it thoroughly. Before you come to the lab, you must complete online pre-work for the experiment that you will be doing. This pre-work counts 10% of the experimental mark for that week. The pre-work is very easy. It consists of 5 multiple choice questions, and most of the answers can be found in the lab manual.
Most experiments in this course will be performed individually, but for a couple of experiments you will be working in groups of 2 or 3, and you can see more information about this in the lab manual. In addition, for 2 of the labs you will pull your data at the end of the lab and use the combined data from your whole group to write the report. You'll be given a lab notebook that looks something like this. You must record all your data in the notebook and write down anything that you think is important. If you want to query a mark or ask a question, you must bring your notebook with you so that we can check what you actually did in the lab. In your first lab, you'll be given a green card. This card will show your individual timetable, and it will also contain spots for the demonstrators to sign so that you can be issued with chemicals in the lab. Make sure you paste this into the front cover of your lab book. If you completed chemistry labs last semester and you still have your lab notebook, then please continue to use it for this semester. This will save us from wasting half-filled notebooks. There are lots of people to help you in lab. Each day there will be 5 demonstrators, 1 with each group, and an academic supervisor. And Shane and Carlo at the service room will also be able to help you. Before you start each lab, a demonstrator will give a brief introductory talk. It's essential that you arrive at the lab by 1 p.m. so you don't miss this talk. You must also make sure to finish in plenty of time to clean up and leave at 5. The lab doors will shut and lock at 5:15, so you must be out by then. You must clean up your lab space before you leave, and leave it looking the same as when you came in. Students the next day will be using the same equipment and glassware as you, so you need to make sure that your things are as neat and tidy for the next lot of students. If you leave without cleaning up, you may be penalised 10% of your mark. The breakdown of your lab mark for the course is shown in this table. 10% will come from the pre-work, and the remaining 90% from the experiment itself. Some of the marks for the experiment are based on your performance in the lab, your yield, your product quality, your accuracy, and the rest of the mark is based on how you report your results. For experiment 1, you will be peer marking each other's reports to give you an opportunity to think about what should go into a report. You'll need to hand in your report and complete the peer marking assignment to get the marks for that experiment. Experiment 2 will be assessed by an oral presentation that you will complete in pairs. and you can find out more information in the lab manual. Experiments 3 to 5 will require written reports. There is lots of information about how to write reports in the lab manual and on Blackboard, so make sure you consult it. During the first week of semester, you'll be required to complete online training about lab reports. This will take the form of a video like this one, and a quiz which you must successfully complete before you can submit any reports.
One aspect of the safety is that we need to keep track of who is in the lab at all times. We're doing this by having a sign-in, sign-out computer where you can scan your student cards each time you walk in or out of the lab. You must do this even if you're just going out to the toilets or to have a drink of water. The computer will record your attendance at the lab, but we won't record any other information. We are only collecting this information for safety reasons. If you don't have your student card with you, you can type in your SID. So now that I've finished lecturing you, you can look forward to coming into lab and doing some great experiments this semester. Right now, what you need to do is complete the quiz below this video, and don't forget to pick up your lab manual and do your pre-work before you come to class. And we look forward to seeing you in labs in week 1.